Hey guys, what's up? Nikkie is online, and you may or may not know, but Taylor Swift has been a huge influence in my life for years, like since I was, 7 and in elementary school, and now I'm an adult and not in college. But yeah, my birthday is on Sunday, and Taylor did 30 things she learned before she was 30, and I thought it'd be fun to do a video version of that, but 19 things I've learned before I turned 19.
Which, are going to be totally different than Taylor's 30 things because we've gone on different journeys, and also I'm younger and I haven't learned the things she's learned, so
let's see what I've learned. Number one is that life is not what the media portrays it's going to be. I feel like growing up, I always had this expectation that high school was going to be amazing, because when I grew up, the biggest TV shows that were like the most popular were like Hannah Montana, the High School Musical franchise, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, what was that one with Demi Lovato? Sunny with a Chance, Wizards of Waverly Place. And these shows were all based, iCarly, like these shows were all based around teenagers and high school. And I thought once I hit high school it'd be like this like life-changing thing, that I'd have like, my own kind of TV show-esque plot happen in my life, and that didn't really happen. And now that I'm past it, because I had that so ingrained in my brain for years, it's like I have to retrain it that life's not what the media is, and once you're out of high school, it's not like your life's over. Like, we don't know what happened. All those characters kind of just died because they don't have a life outside of the TV show because they're fictional characters. So it's like, it's really, life's not what the media is going to portray it, and they're getting younger with their bases, I've noticed. Like, the new TV shows they're doing, they're more like middle schoolers and like late elementary, like 5th, 6th graders. So they're doing that, one, so the show can last longer, obviously, but also two, it's like ingraining into the kids that like, oh, you need to be young to be cool, and that always really scared me, and I'm learning, and I've learned that that's not true, that life doesn't end once you get out of high school. So, I'm learning that. Alright, number 2. Psychics and like law of attraction and karma, that shit is real. Like, I know we're all kind of like told that and stuff like that, but in the past year alone, I've had so much experience with like the divine and like psychic and like my own ability, like growing my own ability as a psychic and being comfortable enough to do pick a card readings for y'all and putting out my predictions, which
I've made better ones than the ones I've posted, but there's some that are still right.
and the ones I posted. Just like karma and being able to attract people into your life from law of attraction, attracting your ideal career, your ideal life. And it's like I'm trying to figure out what it all means and how to go about it, but like at the end of the day, it is really real, and it's not just some like hocus pocus bullshit, like it's real. And yeah, we stand. Number 3, it's okay to be sad, but it's not okay to make your identity revolve around the fact that you're sad. I feel like there's this idea that when you're depressed and you're emo, that you have to wear all black, you have to start self-harming, you have to do the heavy makeup, and you have to be a cynic. You can't listen to Taylor Swift and be an emo person. It's cool if you want to be like the all black and the goth and the that, but like once you start adding the sadness as part of your personality and your identity, it kind of like, I don't want to say like ruins it, but like you're not really,
How do I want to say this?
that shouldn't be what you do. Like, sadness should not be a part of you. Sadness is a feeling that we feel. Sadness is something we might go through. We go through grieving. We go through anger. We go through pain. but it's not who you are. It's a part of what builds the character of who you are. And it's okay to be a pessimist. It's okay to, like, you know, be depressed, and it's okay to go through it, but it's not part of your identity.
And I feel like I may or may not be doing a good job of explaining it. I feel like probably people are going to be, like, really salty if they see this.
But Icon for Hire does a really good job of, like, explaining that through their music, and you should be trying to pull yourself out of it, not sinking further in it. So if you feel like your depression might be part of your identity or something like that, I would definitely recommend listening to Icon for Hire. I would definitely recommend watching Ariel Bloomer's videos on YouTube.
I love her. I love Ariel Bloomer so much. I'm so thankful that I discovered Icon for Hire when I was 14.
But yeah, anyway, number 4 is to dance. Seriously, if you're not dancing your way through life, what are you doing? Like, dance to the songs that you danced to when you were a kid. Dance to the songs that you danced to in middle school. Are you feeling sad? Have you danced in a while? I, like, literally, seriously, if I haven't listened to music and I haven't just, like, danced around and, like, you know, did some hairbrush microphone stuff, it, like, builds up in me and it makes me more sad. Like, dancing releases all of that. Like, dance. If you're not feeling good or you're just, you know, dance. And number 5, there are more content creators out there than what society feeds you. And this is something that I really push as an independent artist, and this is something that I want to do, and I want to make one of my goals and my, like, reputation and my legacy as an artist, is I want to promote smaller artists, and I want to promote, like, what's not on the radio. And I'm not trying to be like,
the radio sucks and everything mainstream sucks and you can only listen to indie artists, and the minute that indie artists become popular, they're no longer cool.
Like, no, it's not about that. It's, please, don't just listen to the radio. Don't just look on the Spotify top charts. Don't just look at the Spotify specifically curated charts and playlists for new music. Like, Bandcamp. I don't know if you guys know if Bandcamp exists. I push Bandcamp all the time. Bandcamp is a free source where musicians can upload their music for free, and then Bandcamp takes a percentage of their, like, the income, and you can buy their music or just, like, listen to it. I think you get up to, like, 3 different listens without buying the music. And honestly, it's a good place to find musicians because you can sort by, like, newest music and then by genre.
So you're like, okay, I feel like I want to listen to pop music that came out randomly on Wednesdays.
So you go to Newest Arrival, you look at that in the pop genre, you're like, okay, this one kind of interests me, this one interests me. And there's a lot of good artists that are hidden on Bandcamp. Like, I feel like Bandcamp kind of gets a reputation of, like, oh, anyone can put their music on there, so anything can go up on there. And I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm also saying don't avoid Bandcamp, because Bandcamp has a lot of amazing music on there too. Search for content creators. Don't just feed on what they tell you to feed on. Like, go and like search for it, dig for it, find your new favorite artist through different means, you know? Alright, number 6. Your goals in life may change, but your character doesn't have to. I feel like this applies to me as an artist and someone else in my life who, I don't really want to get into it, but and me as an artist, I feel like what I want to reach and what I want to achieve as an artist has really changed, especially in the 1.5 to 2 years that I've been, like, recording music and, like, really trying to get into the industry even more. Because I mean, I've been trying to get in the industry for 8 years now. 8. I started when I was 11. And but in the past 2 years, like, watching the Grammys, for example, which I will link the video down there. I'm gonna link a whole bunch of videos down in the description. I'm sorry, guys. With the whole Grammys thing and, like, watching them kind of start to shift and shake and not really be stable. And
There's something else.
I don't remember what the other thing was, but two like really big goals of mine are kind of shifting, and I'm like, well, maybe I don't necessarily want to make this the pinnacle of what I want to achieve as an artist and what I want to achieve in life. So I'm gonna strive for something else, and this is what I'm gonna strive for. This is what I'm gonna go for. These are my goals now. But my character as a musician, as a person, I still want to create art. I still want to be like, at my core, I'm the same person. And it kind of goes with the same thing with they who shall not be named. Let's go like that. They were one major in college, and throughout this year, they discovered that, well, they kind of knew that that major wasn't really their passion, but they discovered that something else really was. And I had the pleasure of getting to watch them.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying.
Watch them really grow into that passion. And even though their interests were changing and our conversations weren't necessarily about their major that they were in and how it kind of interacts with me, I was learning new stuff because they were passionate about this new subject that they're really getting involved in, and I really got to see this different side of them. But even with the conversations being different, and even with the things that they were lighting up about being different,
I can't talk, oh my god.
they still were the same at their core. They were still this super kind, super fun, super just amazing person. Yeah, just no matter where your life takes you and what the goals you want to achieve in life are, don't change your character. Like, you can be the same person at heart and just be a different person on the outside with like your goals and your interests and stuff. Like, those always change, but your character doesn't have to. Speaking of interests and things coming and going in your life,
Are we on 8?
We're on number 7. Number 7 is you might have cringy parts of your past, but you shouldn't regret the cringy parts of your past. Like, we all go through cringy phases and styles and stuff like that. When I was in middle school, I was into One Direction, and I wore a lot of like One Direction stuff, and that was like YOLO and swag, and well, Bae came a little later, but like YOLO and swag and you mad bro, like that was middle school for me. So, and like early high school. I will even put a couple pictures of some really fun, interesting styles, phases I went through over, with a couple over this way or whatever. And do you guys remember when it was really cool to have hipster glasses? So people would like take the Real D 3D glasses and they would like poke the holes out of them. I did that. Like, just really cringy things, like, but I don't regret it. Like, because that was middle school and that was just like a part of my life, and that's that. And like in high school, I dyed my hair pink and purple.
And I just did it again recently because it's part of who I am still. I feel like I'm still like this really scene kid. But
you don't have to regret it, because there is much a part of you as you are right now to future you. You can cringe, but don't regret it. You know what I mean? Because they're just all different versions of you. Number 8. People are weird, and they come and go in your life for the weirdest reasons, and that's just always how it's been. I had someone come into my life in middle school. I would interact with them because I went to a school that only had 83 people, so like you kind of interacted with everyone because you probably had a class with everyone at some point. So you interacted with like everyone at the school, but like, who wants to really be friends like outside of school and stuff like that. I didn't have people who were interested in being my friends until I got an iPhone. And I got an iPhone like 3/4 into the 8th grade year. And they wouldn't give me my number when I had the Android. But the minute I got the iPhone, they were like,
you have an iPhone? Let me give you my number.
Like 2 or 3 people did that. And I'm like,
That's the dumbest freaking thing. Like, why weren't you willing to be my friend when I had an Android?
like, even if iPhones are the pinnacle of wealth, which, I mean, they are, but they're not at the same time, which is a whole different conversation, why would it matter? Like, why does it matter if I have an Android or an Apple?
Right now I have an Android, but I kind of want to go back to Apple.
But, like, why does it matter? And, like, I've had people kind of orbit my life like this recently, and, they're gonna come back in my life, and they're gonna leave, and they're gonna come back, and they're gonna leave, and when they're in my life, that's what matters to me. And when they're gone, and that's fine, I guess, because I know they're gonna come back at some point. People come and go for the weirdest reasons, and that's just something that we all have to accept, is that people come and go, and sometimes it's not for the most logical reasons, but...
What are you gonna do about it?
Number 9 is that going viral is not easy. When I was in middle school, that's when Vine was like at its peak, was when I was in middle school. And I remember people started going viral on YouTube when I was in like late elementary school, 5th or 6th grade, was when like YouTube really got popular, when like the height of like YouTuber culture, like Shane Dawson, you'd watch Shane Dawson, you'd have like the Dan and Phil shirts, and yeah, that's still part of culture, and I'm not sure how much of it is still part of like high school and middle school culture, but like it was a huge part of culture in my middle school and like elementary and like early high school, like freshman and sophomore year of high school. Your culture was like YouTuber culture and Vine culture, and when Shawn Mendes started getting popular and just going viral, that really started when I was in like middle school. And it's not easy, and I feel like I've tried my best to go viral, like
with the exception of like sex dolls and stuff like that.
Like, I've done really stupid things. I've tried to do some challenges. I've posted all the hashtags. I've done everything, and I feel like no matter what I do, my tweets won't go viral, my posts on Instagram won't go viral, they won't get on the explore page, my music won't just hit the right person, and then like my music won't go viral, like I won't have like a Billie Eilish type situation.
I feel like I'm picking on her, but I feel like that's kind of it. Or like Old Town Road,
something super random kind of just like blows up. I feel like for some reason I can't do that, and it's really frustrating, but like that's just a lesson I've had to learn in life, is that going viral is not easy, and I don't care how much I need to tell myself that. It's true, it's not easy. It looks easy, but it's not. So number 10 is honestly, as I get older, I'm scared to grow up. I kind of mentioned it in the first lesson that like I was always kind of scared of growing up because of what the media had portrayed to me, that like, oh, once you're in high school, you're at the peak of your life, or oh, once you're in college, you're reaching like the best 4 years of your life, and like life ends once you're 18. But as I'm getting older, I'm still scared to grow up, because like there's a lot of like really scary things out there, and I was always the kid that was like,
I don't want to grow up, I don't want to grow up, I don't want to grow up.
And now that I'm growing up, I'm like,
I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I'm scared.
So, I think that's just being like really brutally honest with yourself and admitting that like growing up is really scary, even though in the past year that I've been an adult, I've had some of the best experiences. I met some of the best people ever, and I got to travel to Texas to see Taylor. I got to see Taylor in Glendale. I went to see Julia Michaels. I've started 2 new jobs. I got to experience the job life, the get that bread life. I have amazing coworkers. I love them so much. I wouldn't have got to meet them if I didn't take those leaps of faith. But also, there's government stuff, and that's really scary. And there's finances, and money is really scary. And I think my whole being scared to grow up thing is also tied to the fact that I'm scared to fail, and that's one of my biggest fears, is like failure and rejection and like, you know, like that all kind of combined. So growing up is scary, and if you're watching this, I'm not gonna say like, oh, don't be afraid to grow up, but also like realize that the reasons that you're scared to grow up do change, and that you just kind of gotta roll with the punches. Number 11. Don't ignore what you're thinking about when you're not thinking. Even if it is really sad, even if it's scary, it is something your subconscious needs you to take care of. And for me right now, that thing sucks. And I am really upset with myself for worrying about that thing when I have a solid 5 or 6 things I should be thinking about before I think about that thing. But the fact is that I'm thinking about it when my brain is completely empty, and that shows that it really is supposed to be important in my life, and that it's something that I need to take care of before I can move on with my life. And it sucks. Sometimes that thing is like not something that you would think is a priority, and it shouldn't be a priority, and yet it is, and you don't really understand why it's a priority, but you just gotta... I feel like a lot of these kind of just come down to understanding yourself and understanding the fact that it's not always all rainbows and butterflies, but taking care of whatever's on your mind is going to help you, because your subconscious is like making a checklist, like, okay, I'm worried about XYZ right now, I'm worried about XYZ right now, okay, I got X and Y done, okay, now I gotta worry about Z, A and B, Z, A and B, Z, A and B, and you're like, okay, I got Z done, now it's A, B, C, you know, like it builds a checklist, and it in turn, like, when you have X, Y, and Z done, your life is gonna look better overall. Even if you are worried about A, B, and Z, like, compare your life to where you were when it was X, Y, Z. Like, don't ignore the fact that your brain is putting X and Y in front of you. Even if you think Z is more important, don't ignore the fact that X, Y, and Y are there when you're not thinking about anything. Number 12, go out. Do things. This is something, it sounds really dumb, but like when I was in high school, I feel like I spent a lot of weekends at home. I spent a lot of time at home, and I wasn't really like invited to things, and I felt like I always had to have people around to go out and do something I wanted to do. And this is more of a reminder to myself than a lesson, but it's still there, because it's really important to go out and do things. Like, even if no one else is willing to go with you, you gotta like go out and do things. Like, recently I went and I got my nails done by myself, and I felt like that was such a big feat, because I feel like I always have to do everything with somebody, otherwise my social anxiety just like goes off the roof. And you know what?
I called. I was like, do you guys have a walk-in available? They're like, no, but we do have a time within like an hour. And I was like, okay, I can be there. And I went, I got my nails done, and it was great.
And then I was going to go shopping by myself, and I didn't, because my friends were like, you know what? We can meet you and we can go shopping. So I ended up not shopping by myself, but I was like,
you know what? Whether or not they come with me or not, I'm going to go look at Michael Kors bags, because retail therapy.
I'm trying to learn not to care if people are there for me or not, to go and like do something. And doing things with friends is great, and it's memory building, but honestly I feel like doing stuff by yourself is also memory building. So yeah, peep the nails. Peep them. They're like a white lavender. They're really pretty. Number 13. There are many types of parties. I feel like, again, all of these will kind of loop back to the first one in a way, with like media and stuff like that. But there are many types of parties. And I feel like working, because I work at Pier 1
as of now,
has kind of really given me insight to this. Parties aren't always like, oh, going to the club and strobe lights and bass pounding music and stuff like that. It's not always that. It's like there's parties like where you guys just get together, and there's board game night parties, there's barbecue parties, there's like just where people just have dinner, like they have dinner parties. There's a whole bunch of different types of parties, and if you're not into partying, it's just probably because you haven't found the right like type of party and like the right people to be with for each type of party. And that's really cool. Like that really gives me like insight for things that I want to do in the future, you know? Number 14 is kind of a subset of number 12. Along with going and doing things, a specific thing you should do is thrift shop. There are many reasons that you should thrift shop. Thrift shop. Which include being good for the environment. It's cheaper. Thrift shopping in itself is an amazing experience because you never know what you're going to find. Like, seriously. Of course, buying a new shirt.
This isn't a new shirt. I was wearing a new shirt yesterday.
Is amazing, and like having new clothes that are like made is super cool. But if something is sitting in your closet for 2 months,
or like 2 months is like nothing.
If something is just sitting in your closet for like a year and you just never wear it, go and take it to the thrift store. Even if you decide you just want to get the cash for it, that's more cash in your pocket that you can spend. And honestly, I've gotten some really freaking good deals at thrift store. I got an $81 dress, which I don't know why it was $81 in the first place, but had tags on it, was never worn, for $15. And that was my junior year school picture dress. Let's see if I can find my junior year picture. I'll put it somewhere over here if I can find it. Thrift shopping. Do it. Don't do it for underwear and bras and shoes though. Would not recommend that. But you know, like shirts, pants, scarves, jewelry. Stuff like that. Jackets. Like, thrift shop. There's no reason for fast fashion to create the mass amount of clothes that we have when we have a bunch of clothes in our closets and stuff like that. 14, I believe. I think I'm on 14.
Hopefully I'm not messing up the countdown. I swear I probably would mess it up.
Corporations don't care about the environment, so me taking a 5-minute shower versus a 10-minute shower isn't going to make a difference. Now, that's not to say that doing things for the environment, doing things to help on your end prevent global warming isn't a good thing. Like, we seriously need to take care of climate change, but the fact that a huge portion of the reason that we are headed towards this mass craziness in 12 years that is climate change is because of corporations and because of them producing oil and releasing like gas and stuff like that, you know, into the water, into the atmosphere. So if corporations won't take care of on their end and like do things from like a corporate place, I could take a 10-minute shower and it's not the end of the world. But you know, like there's a little bit of hypocrisy there. And like I'm not saying don't use like reusable straws and stuff like that, because individual waste is a huge problem. You're doing everything you can, I'm doing everything I can, and yet we're still headed that way anyways because of corporations. So corporations need to get their crap together before spewing that I need to be doing something.
That was 15. Oh, okay.
16. Pay attention to what charities you donate to. We have a lot of charities that are pushed towards us, especially around the holiday seasons. For example, like the Salvation Army, the the Red Cross whenever there's a major emergency, or like life thing. Like St. Jude, Wounded Warrior Project, those ones are pushed a lot in my area. Stuff like that. And the first two I can mention are not good. Oh, PETA.
I was trying to think of organizations that were like bad because, you know, I didn't want to like drop names of good charities that were like, and throw them in and be like, oh, don't donate to them because like they're good charities.
A lot of these organizations pay a lot of money to be like pushed. These charities, while they do something, they also are very for-profit and end up misusing the money that they put in front of them. PETA really doesn't help animals as much as they say they do. Salvation Army is anti-LGBT,
which in an ideal world isn't cool because you're letting someone freeze to death because they are gay. And that shouldn't be cool. Like, I get having religious values, but also like you're letting someone freeze to death. Shouldn't your first religious thing be like, don't let people die?
And then like with what's the other one I brought up? With Red Cross, especially when it comes to like different countries, they will overpower any local organizations that are doing things. They will like kind of soak them up and like put them under their control, and then they won't do anything and they won't let the organizations do what they want to do. So and that happened a lot, especially in like during Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico and stuff like that. So just be really careful about what charities you donate to. I think there's a website, I think it's called Charity Navigator or Charity Rater or something like that, and it gives you like the pros and the cons of each charity, as well as like a percentage rating or a letter grade. I can't remember if it's a percentage or a letter. And it gives you like good charities to donate to, because a lot of charities are overlooked because of these big ones that are pushed in front of us, and even if they're not the best. 17. Treat yourself versus impulse spending. In the TV series Parks and Rec,
which kind of popularized the whole treat yourself mentality,
once a year, Tom Haverford and Donna Meagle go and they treat themselves. They go to the spa, they they buy diamond robes, they do fuzzy slippers.
They do fuzzy slippers, yeah. They wear fuzzy slippers.
They relax, they do their acupuncture. Money is no object on Treat Yourself Day because it's been a while. You're kind of, you're saving up for something, you're living your life, but once a year, it's like,
oh, treat yourself. You need that. You need those nails done. You need your hair done. You need to go to the spa. You need to relax. You need a massage. Treat yourself. Do it.
And it's like once a year, and that's cool. However, impulse spending is also a really big deal, and I feel like I can be an impulse spender if I'm not careful. And the treat yourself mentality really kind of comes into play with impulse spending, because it's like,
okay, well, you don't need this, but like also take care of yourself. You deserve it. Treat yourself.
And that's also, it's kind of become just like a mentality people have. It's like, oh, self-care, treat yourself. And yes, we do need to treat ourselves in our lives. Like, we can't just be like, okay, I'm only spending money on rent, and I'm only going to spend money on food, and I'm not going to get that ice cream because I need to get bread for later on, But like, me doing my nails was kind of impulsive because I was sad and retail therapy. Me buying...
Well, no, that wasn't really impulse spending, because I was going to say me buying $60 worth of shirts was impulse spending, but I needed those for work, so that was a valid purchase.
But if you're not careful with impulsive spending, you're not going to be able to build any type of financial, like, literacy. Like, you're not going to be able to take care of your finances in the future, and it's all about the balance of treat yourself and self-care, and it's been a while since you've done something for yourself versus just completely being like, you know what, I don't care if rent's due in 2 weeks, I need my nails done, and then using treat yourself as an excuse, you know? Like, there is a line and you need to be very, very, very careful with it. Alright, number 18 is when to apologize versus how to apologize. Or, it's when to apologize and how to apologize. Because I feel like I've learned in my life, I've apologized for things that I shouldn't apologize for. And I wrote a whole ass song about it. It's called Nowhere, and it's great. And I'm still very proud of it a year later. Anyway, but sometimes you do have to apologize. Sometimes you do have to realize that maybe your behavior wasn't the best in the situation, and maybe you could have handled things better. I'm trying to think of, like, my real world reasons I've apologized recently. Like, it really wasn't intentional, and even though it wasn't your intentions to do something, you still did something. So, don't, like, beg for forgiveness, but, you know, like, let them have their space, because that's something else that I really have to be really careful about, is I'm very clingy, and so I don't like it when people need space sometimes, and I'm like, alright, well, I'll be here, and I'm like a dog, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like,
okay, I'm sitting by the window, okay, I'm sitting by the window, okay, I'm sitting by the window, I'm waiting for the human, 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 I'm waiting for the human. Huh, you do that sometimes.
she's sleeping. Or she's resting. But I feel like sometimes I'm like that as I'm waiting for a response from someone as I apologize and as I try to, you know, build something with them. And I feel like I need to stop doing that. But even more than that, when you apologize, you can't make excuses for yourself. You need to focus on the other person's feelings. So, like, for example, if I say something and maybe I should have handled it better, I would say something along the lines of,
hey, I'm really sorry I said that. I'm really sorry it came out that way. It was never my intention to say that or to do that, but I understand that that's something that you felt, and I feel awful about it, and I hope you can forgive me.
You know, like, just something like that. Like, apologies, they really are important, but, and they're not something that you need to, like, save. Like, oh, I can only apologize for things once a year. No, but don't apologize for every little thing. Don't be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm stupid, oh my god. Like, if I will say that, but I'm mostly, like, joking, or I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so dumb, and just, like, you know, like, I'm joking, but, like, or it's not, like, a serious apology, but, like, don't apologize for being yourself. 19 is the last one, and I feel bad about something, so it's kind of why it's the 19, and it's here. 19 is never take advantage of your pets. I see posts like this kind of often, so it makes me think about it a lot. These pets, you have them, you have your job outside of, you have your job, you have your friends, you have your family, you have a life, but all these animals have are you and the life you provide for them. So if you're spending a lot of time away from them, they're not living their best life, and they're not being with their human, and they're feeling neglected and sad. And I feel like I've been taking advantage of Indy a lot. Like, when I'm going out with my friends and stuff like that, I feel bad. Like, I get like remorseful, and I kind of feel regretful. I'm like, I'd rather be at home with my dog, because I love my dog and I want her to be happy, and she loves me, and I want her and I to have the best relationship we can. One day they're gonna be gone, and that's what breaks my heart the most.
Okay, now I have a valid reason to cry.
You know when you lose a pet, and they're just forever in your mind, and they're just forever there, because they're a part of you. Your pets are a part of you. They're a part of your life. They're your companion. They're your best friend, and losing pets is the hardest thing. So if I feel like I didn't make the best of Indy's life, or the best of Hope's life,
It's the dog that I think about the most.
or the best of Faith's life while she was alive,
For her very, very, very short stint on Earth.
I'm gonna regret it forever. And I'm constantly thinking about, India's gonna be 4 years old in July. And that was half of Hope's life. And I feel like I want to do more for her than what I've done. And I'm scared that I'm not going to. Don't take advantage of your pets. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up, comment below, or if you really liked it and you've never seen any of my videos before and you're not subscribed, you should totally subscribe to this channel. If you don't know, I am a singer-songwriter myself. I have an album out called Puppeteer. It's been out for almost a year. May 25th will mark 1 year since Puppeteer came out, and that's crazy to me. Thank you so much to my Patreons. I have a few of those if you're interested in pledging. Check out the link in the description. I think they'll be this way. I'm pretty sure I've gotten it down to a science now, which is this way, but I don't know. Whatever the top right is. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.